Tuesdays with Tim. And for this edition, as you can see, I have my lovely wife here, Connie August. And the screen behind us is not a picture that we took, but it could have been one that we took while we were in Ireland. Wasn't that an awesome trip?
It looks like the same scenery that I remember.
That's right. That's right. Just amazing. In fact, I think in the hallway, if you go around, we're at home right now, and there's a photo that is very similar to this one. And yet we're in the comfort of our home right now. So anyway, Ireland, skill testing question. What year did we go? Do you remember?
I think it was 2014.
2014 is correct, because it was funny. We were talking about, oh yeah, it was 2016. That's when I retired. And then we actually had to look up the photos and found out that it was 2014. So 2014, I can't believe how time is flying, because on the way back we were saying, oh, we've got to go back, and it's 2021 and we haven't gone back. We were scheduled to go back though last May, and it didn't happen, right? Obviously, for obvious reasons. But at the beginning here, I want to talk a little bit about anniversaries. So significance of, I'm putting right back at you a question that you asked me just the other day, and I'm trying to remember the date. It was February 13th, and you said, what happened 5 years ago to this date? And I couldn't answer. So what happened 5 years ago, February 13th?
You proposed to me.
That's right. It was such a special time. We were in Huntsville. And Mary, my sister, has since passed. She bought that beautiful bottle of wine for us, and we were at dinner at a nice fancy restaurant in Huntsville. But anyway, anniversaries, dates is one of the first things I want to talk about. Here's another one. Today, February 23rd.
That's Tim's birthday.
Oh, I thought it was, I didn't think it was that. I thought it was our first official date 10 years ago.
Exactly. That too.
Okay, so that's something that I decided, you could ask for that first date on any day. You didn't have to pick your birthday, but I thought it would be really easy to remember that, hey, this is the first time we actually went on a date.
And I didn't know it was his birthday when we went on the date. So I found out
after the fact,
during our date, that it was your birthday. So that was a surprise.
So that's funny.
And it would have been really funny if we hadn't worked out. You would have had to figure out one other date.
Oh, I know. It worked out, Connie. Trust me, it worked out, right?
It did.
So anyway, those are our anniversaries. We have other anniversaries. It's funny because as I'm aging, memory is just not there for me. And so you and I were at the computer once, and I was putting all the important life moments down in the computer so I could just refer to it. Because when we say, when did we buy this house? It's like, I think it was, and do you know?
I didn't buy it.
We'd have to go to the computer. No, but you own it. Along with me now. So anyway, we have that cheat sheet. I should have had it in front of me. It has all the dates that are important. Anyway, Connie, want to talk about some projects that I'm involved in and the support that you give me, which that's why I wanted to have you as a guest, not to talk about our anniversaries, but to say thank you as well. I mean, when I say, let's do this festival, or I think I want to do a concert, or I come home with a paycheck, or whatever it is, you're involved with that every step of the way. So Bestival, how do you see yourself involved in Bestival?
I think I really take, I work behind the scenes. I'm doing more behind the scenes work. When I'm, maintaining the books for Bestival, helping out with any of the volunteering that needs to be done, moving equipment.
Exactly. We're always short on helpers like that. Anything.
Taking care of storage,
Anything.
whatever is required, and doing a little bit of the first run editing on
Yeah.
things.
So it's interesting because of all the things that you mentioned, which are all true. The one that really stands out for me is all the bookkeeping. Did you even mention that?
I kind of did that first.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bookkeeping is huge. When you're throwing a festival, a concert, a what have you, there's all the behind the scenes. Taxes come along and they want to, figure things out and see if you're paying and all that. And so, again, with all of my musical endeavors, I really do appreciate that. So there's Bestival, and then there's Clefs of Moher, which is sort of in some ways, even though we've been doing that since 2014, it's sort of gaining more momentum right now. So what do you think of when you think of Clefs of Moher?
As I've said to you before, every time you get a great idea, it means more work.
That's right. And we discussed before how there's different personalities, and my personality is great for starting things.
Yeah.
And that can be great. We need people to do that, to start things, but then the longevity of things as well, it can be a challenge. But anyway, we're having a lot of fun with Clefs of Moher right now. And as you know, you and I are finally, if COVID permitting, we're able to go back to Ireland next year on a bus with a whole bunch of friends and family, and so
Yeah,
really excited by that.
looking forward to that for sure.
Okay, so I have another couple of questions, and you don't even know what they are. I'm going to say a word. I'm just going to say a word, and you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Jazz.
Tim.
No, that's not fair. That's not Keep going.
Before I met you,
okay.
I thought I didn't like jazz. When people said, "Oh, I love to listen to jazz," I thought, nah. And since I met you and have had so many different experiences with jazz, I understand now that it's a genre that has a really wide range. And there is still some jazz that I don't like. I just, to me, it sounds like noise, and my brain doesn't make any sense of it. But there's, when it has a melody and I can follow what's going on, I can really, really enjoy the jazz. And I specifically loved when you started doing the Celtic jazz. The Emerald Blues was the first one that you wrote, and I loved it. I just really, really thought it was a good piece and a lot of fun. And I was hoping you would do more. And now we've got the Clefs of Moher, and I love listening to that CD.
Oh, thank you.
I just love it.
That's great. And we have a lot of fun producing that, and every step of the way going into the studio, there will be a time where we can perform more and more. I was hoping that time was last year, but we'll get there. Let's try a different one. Family.
Family is really important, I think, for both of us. I think it's we have blended our families of four boys on Tim's side and 3 boys and a girl on my side. So when we get everyone together, it's a party right there.
Yeah.
So it's just I love having the gang together. I love having the individuals, and they are all such unique, wonderful people.
And I'm going to give a special shout out to one of those family members because he sort of pushed music the furthest. Do you know who that is? Who are you thinking?
I'm thinking Alex.
Alex, yeah, because he's a guitarist and keyboard player, and I'm mentioning him because I already put the invite out for him to come on to Tuesdays with Tim one of these days.
Yeah.
So I think I have him coming on sometime in the future. So that would be nice. Okay, well, you know what? The only thing in closing this, because we're going to be we are pre-recording this. It's being released today, Tuesday, February 23rd at 7 o'clock. But it's pre-recorded, to be honest, and we did that just for the technological issues. It's so much easier. And so I have something that I want to play after this. And at first I was thinking of the highlights video of First United Church. Do you remember that concert?
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And but then I'm torn between that and the Lot 42 we played for the virtual Bestival this past summer. And that too was a lot of fun. So anyway, to be totally honest, you're going to, in just a moment, see one of those, either the highlight video or I don't even know which one right now as we record. But anyway, enjoy. And thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week. And I will have another guest. And I'm not sure who that guest is. Michael says he wants to come back, so I'm probably going to have him back for a while, but I have other people that are sending material in, like some artists that are within the Clefs of Moher. And, you know, down the road, Tuesdays with Tim will be even like Bestival and having different artists and visual artists and performers in. It's not going to be all about the Clefs of Moher. But thank you for joining me today.
You're very welcome.
I know this is totally outside Connie's comfort zone, so it's like, I really appreciate that.
For my honey.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Are we supposed to kiss at this point? Cheers.
Have you ever been screeched in before? Is he a newfie screecher? Ah, you don't know the saying, do you? Pete, I use me old cock and long may your big jib draw. This is Screech House. What? What?
Clefs of Moher, ladies and gentlemen.